Hello everyone and welcome to FiST Chat, the vodcast that features discussions on the topics of film, science and technology. My name is Ben Warner and I'm joined once again by my good friend and colleague Steve Kern. Glad to see you there, Steve. We almost thought we wouldn't get you there for a minute, but the iPad came to the rescue.
Yes, that's right. Hello, FiST Chat fans. I'm a little bit squashed or feeling squashed. I'm coming to you via an iPad.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we can do it on the road in the future.
Maybe we can.
Absolutely. All right, just usual housekeeping. Don't forget our websites at www.fistchat.com. You can get all our links there. You can subscribe to our audio via iTunes, RSS, and FeedBurner. You can get all of our videos, back episodes on YouTube, Vimeo, and Digicosm TV, and interact with us on our social media feeds, Twitter, Google+, Facebook, we're all there. And, of course, our supplementary content, the weekly blogs, photography on Instagram and Flickr. And we've got a new thing that we've added because we just seem to be in the mood to add things. Came across, had it recommended to me, an app called Go Poll Go, which basically means that we can run polls every week very easily straight from our iPhone. So it's really good. And just as an example, I just threw up a quick test one at the end of last week, basically asking which digital ecosystem is best, which probably wasn't quite, I should have said which app ecosystem is best because I ended up putting answers for app stores on there. At any rate, 28 people responded, and it seems the iTunes store came out on top with 75%. With the Google Play Store next at 14%, the Amazon App Store at 11%, and unfortunately Microsoft didn't get any score at all. So interesting results. Probably not surprising really, because I guess as far as app stores go, the iTunes store is fairly big and it leads the way, I guess.
Well, that's it. And I mean, that certainly works within a Windows system. So Microsoft have got their work cut out to sort of take on iTunes. That's by the sounds of that, Ben.
Absolutely. So what we'll do is we'll run a poll every week, and it's just another way for you to interact with us and let us know whatever you want us to figure out and whatever we want to find out from you guys. So it should be a lot of fun. Now we're going to change tack, I think, from previous weeks in our main topic today. We're going to learn how to relax your mind because we're in a very 24/7 kind of society. We're sort of constantly trying to find more to do in less time. And I think in this type of day and age that we're living in, I don't know if this is like for you as well, Steve, but it seems like we don't have enough time to do everything that we want. And it feels like there's no downtime, there's nothing. And as we saw in this TED Talk, and we'll throw that up on our social media feeds for people to see, it's very important, even if you just take out 10 minutes every day to relax your mind.
Well, that's so true. I mean, people get worked up about work and then they get worked up about home. And once upon a time, we all had long, lazy weekends where sometimes we get bored on Sundays because there was nothing happening. But now it's 24/7, like you're saying, with the exception of probably Christmas Day and Good Friday. The rest of the year is go, 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 and people want things all the time, and we get caught up in that. So it definitely is very important to take that time to, effectively slow down the mind, slow down the body, and sort of relax.
Well, that's it. We have to remember that it's a biological process, what's happening in our brains. And in addition to all the amazing things that it can do for us, it does need that recharge time to get back to full capacity. Even when you're sleeping, it's working, but it's doing different things. So just having that ability to just sort of channel out the noise is incredibly important. And that's why that TED Talk from Andy Puddicombe was fascinating, in that he wasn't even necessarily, I mean, he went the whole hog and said that he was, he went and studied as a monk and did the whole meditation bit up in the mountains somewhere. But I think what he was trying to get across to everyone was that you didn't necessarily have to do the whole thing. There's a stereotype to do with
Yeah.
meditation about, you have to sit cross-legged, wear funny clothes, and listen to new age music while smelling
You don't
incense.
have to, Ben, but it does help.
Of course it does. But I mean, if you haven't got that and you don't want to pay a membership fee or do any of that do any of that stuff, you could just sit at home in a quiet room and just switch
Yeah.
off. That's all you really need to do. That's all meditation is.
Well, that's right, and but it certainly helps to use some of the techniques, and you can get them in books or online. There's some very simple techniques. You don't have to chant necessarily or have incense burning, but it's
Mm.
just a process whereby you effectively reduce the amount of input coming in,
Yep.
sensory input coming in, and then at the same time, what you do that allows you to slow down. The pace of your thoughts and actually the amount of brain activity that you have. And it's a very important technique because effectively it clears the mind and allows you to refocus on the things that are important in your life. And
Mm.
that's I think, where the danger is today is that we get so much stimulation so quickly and for such short periods. We actually have a lot more going on in our lives, and a lot of it actually isn't important whatsoever. We may
Mm.
be interested in the news or current affairs or sports results or playing a game, but ultimately they don't really help us, or improve the quality of our lives. That comes through, I guess, being able to focus and concentrate and pursue the sorts of things that you want to pursue in life. So it's
Mm.
a very important technique, and I'd certainly recommend it to anyone.
I mean, just looking at it from the technological angle, I guess it is incredibly difficult to do it in this day and age because everything is in effect on demand. Networking, contact with people, the media you choose to consume, movies, TV. Everything is just instantaneous, and because you can just pick up your phone when it's sitting on a table and you can instantly access all of this stuff, that that urge to pick up that device and connect, it's very hard to resist that in today's world.
Well, that's precisely the problem.
Mm.
People are finding it more and more difficult to take time out. Now, the truth is, with meditation, if you really want to get the benefits from it, you do actually need to sometimes, well, you really should do it a couple of times a day, even 10 minutes. And people will tell you straight up in this day and age they don't have time to do that. And it's one of
Yeah.
those things you have to make time, because if you don't make time, you'll get carried away. You know, you'll be one of those people that say, "My life is just crazy. It's out of control. I'm so
Mm.
busy." And it's because you're confused. There's too much going on,
But
and that's where meditation can help.
and the important thing too is not to put pressure on yourself to say I have to make time to meditate, because that's also a self-defeating kind of thing
Yeah,
as well.
well, that's
Because you
right.
start
You don't
because
want to be sitting there thinking about, I should be doing something else.
yeah,
That's for
because
sure.
that'll just throw you out as well, and
Well,
it'll make you feel bad if you don't end up getting to it as well.
and that's a very good point. I mean, I'm a little bit cynical about some of the people now pushing mindfulness.
Mm.
Meditation is a technique that allows you to relax. Mindfulness is just a now slogan for people that are commoditized relaxation, which is fine. I mean, it's very good that we can have that support to help us in this busy time. But
Yeah.
the important thing to remember is that you can basically try to meditate and try to relax exactly as you're saying, but some of these people, approaching it very much from the point of view that it's almost like dieting, like the
Yeah.
diet weight loss industry, and that's not healthy either. So, if anyone who wants to learn or try, I recommend the book, or a book, the internet, and check out some talks like Andy's, and they give you a good pointer to get into it.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll throw up the that we mentioned before. We'll throw that TED talk up on our social media feeds. Definitely check it out. He definitely presents it in an entertaining way, and you'll get a lot out of it. All right, we'll move on to our news bites now, and the first one, our film news bite. This was more amusing. We all loved Hot Tub Time Machine from a few years back. I mean, with that kind of a title, it's just some wacky adventure. And now it seems MGM is planning a sequel. I'm not sure what wacky adventures they could have in that hot tub this time, but apparently John Cusack's not involved, so I'm not sure if it'll be as fun.
Well, I can't see how it would be then.
Yeah, exactly. Just some interesting stats on the first film, though. The first film made 50 million from a $36 million budget. Interesting that it got 36 million to
Yeah,
make a film. Um,
like that.
just like that, and but it became a huge hit on home Blu-ray, DVD, and all that sort of thing.
It's
So
like Harold and Kumar.
exactly. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Wacky science fiction. We don't mind a bit of that as long as it's good.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, now science news bite, and this is sort of a feel-good story from the Sydney Morning Herald. Australian schoolgirl, a science sensation. Apparently, teenager Yaya Lu, 16 of Hobart, she managed to create a technology where a complete quadriplegic could control a wheelchair by voice.
Yeah,
That's very amazing and really awesome.
that
Um,
is.
and apart from the fact that, just on its own, this is an amazing story, it bodes well for science and, young people getting involved in science.
Well, these are, as you know, I think we were talking about at the start of the year. These are the sorts of advances that are still, we're right on the cusp of now. These are big stories, and to think that she's so young
Hmm.
and able to do that is that's outstanding. So it's a fantastic effort.
Mm, absolutely. All right. Well, now we'll move on to our tech news bite, and this one I had to include because it's Adelaide. It's involving Adelaide, our hometown. So we had to throw this in. Rundle Mole's plan to use mobile phone technology to track shoppers as they shop. Is this we going all Big Brother there? I know I haven't been there for a while, but you've got the lay of the land. Is something going on there that is a bit not kosher, perhaps?
Well, look, I really like this idea.
Yeah.
I just can't see how it would work though, because and I'd be interested if anyone can explain this to me, because mathematically it doesn't quite make sense. So the idea
Mm.
is that if you turn on your phone, you'll be tracked wherever you are in the mall,
Yeah.
and if everyone's at one end of the mall because the deals are really great, it allows everyone else at the other end of the mall to program in better deals to pull everyone down from one end. And the idea is to even out the distribution of people using the mall. I can't see quite how that's going to work, but it's an interesting idea. I certainly, though, wouldn't be allowing the Adelaide City Council to see where I was in Rundle Mall at any time, though.
Is
But
it,
if people want to, because they think that they're going to get good deals,
isn't it a bit of a
um,
convoluted way to structure deals? Couldn't they have some guy out with a sign saying "Come this way, better
uh,
deal"?
I just can't see how it's going to work. Because once you've bought something, do you just keep on buying? I've just bought, a new pair of shoes. Oh, there's another new pair of shoes cheap at the other end of the mall. I'll go there as well.
No, absolutely. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. News.com.au had that story. Maybe they'll have a follow up. So it should be fascinating to see at any rate.
Well, if it works, I mean, it'll be a test case for the rest of the world. If it works, who knows what will happen, in cities around the world.
Absolutely. All right, and just finally, in closing, I just wanted to throw in a recommendation for a book that I've just finished reading called 11/22/63 by Stephen King, and as usual, he writes a fairly big kind of big narrative and basically deals with about a guy who comes across a time portal that sends him back to 1958, and then he goes on a mission to stop Lee Harvey Oswald assassinating JFK. And that's a very good hook. But the thing is that's a very involved story. There's a 5-year gap in there, and it's very sort of epic in nature. And in true Stephen King and even just good writing style, it all comes right down to the wire. Just as Oswald's pulling the trigger,
Wow.
it's a very good book. Highly recommend everyone read it. And
Oh,
I believe the director of The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption's in talks to maybe direct the film as well, the film version.
okay. Well, I look forward to seeing that then.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. All right, we're out of time. So thanks again, Steve, for the chat.
Yes, thanks, Ben. It's been weird on the iPad, but at least we know that it works.
Absolutely. And like I said, maybe we could do this on the road somehow because that's what the iPad's built for.
Exactly. We will check this out.
Absolutely. All right, so that's it for this week's episode. So we'll catch you next week.